Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Deb Sofield, and you're listening to my weekly podcast series called Encouragement for Your Life. Hey, many of you know I'm a national speaker and trainer and a coach. I help people find their voice and learn to use it. I'm also a conference speaker on the topics of public speaking for today's non-listening audience, how to deal with the media, and crisis communications. If you're part of a group that is looking for speakers for a conference, or your organization needs a refresher course on how to deal with the world today, I hope you'll reach out at debsofield.com. I've got a number of books on the market. Let me tell you about my newest series called Encouragement for Your Life, Tough Love Memos to help you fight your battles and change the world. My book, Speak Without Fear, is available, and my newest book, Perfecting Your Platform, has now hit the bookstores. You can find all my books on Amazon.com. Hey, my theme for the day is a tough one, but friends, you can do it. It's this. Friend, life is an echo. What you send out comes back. What you sow, you reap. What you give, you get. What you see in others exists in you. Do not judge so you won't be judged. Radiate and give love, and love comes back to you. I'm Deb Sofield. Thanks for spending these next few minutes with me. Let's get started with today's show. I saw a poster the other day that said, life is an echo. What you send out comes back. What you sow, you reap. What you give, you get. What you see in others exists in you. Do not judge, so you will not be judged. Radiate and give love, and love comes back to you. I gotta tell you, what an interesting thought. See, I think it's interesting that life might be an echo. I have to admit, I never thought about it that way. It seems to me that most of the time when I do something, I assume it dissipates and doesn't stay around to be recalled back to me over and over like an echo down a mountain path. A few times when I was growing up, due to the location, I was at a place where an echo could be heard. It's an odd sensation to hear your voice resonate down the canyon. You probably remember as a kid or even as an adult, when the opportunity presented itself, you called down the way to hear your voice echo back up to you. Hello, hello, hello. Those were the good old days. Now it seems to me that when we speak, most of us assume our words just go away into the air, never to be heard again. There's this assumption that everything we say just seems to dissipate or fall on deaf ears. We do good deeds and someone says thank you and then it's over. Or today's world, no one says thank you, but that's another show for another day. Very few times do we expect to reap what we sow. Life's disappointments seem to cloud out that option. We give to our church, our school, our community, and you might receive a nice thank you note or maybe a tax write-off. But most of us don't expect anything big in return. And I doubt many truly believe that the measure of what you give, you actually receive in return. When it comes to the thought of what I see in others exists in me, I only hope the good is what exists in me, nothing else. And I hope others see it. And of course, most of us grew up with a phrase about not judging others. Of course, we all do it, unless you're a saint. I'll leave that for another day, too. About the only thing on the poster that I knew for certain was if you give love to family and friends and others, friends, you've got a good chance of feeling a sense of love returned. It's interesting that the poster had such an effect on me. Maybe it's because it seems so true for today's standard. And if everything I do is mirrored in some way that reflects who I am or what I do or what I believe in, yikes! That's an eye-opener that I wasn't expecting. So I have to ask, how about you? Friend, is your life an echo? And if so, what are you hearing? What are you sending out that comes back to you? I spend a lot of time on words and why they matter. I'm an executive speech coach and I help people write presentations and then learn to give in audiences of hundreds or thousands. I understand that words have meaning. And depending on who's hearing what you say, I say we need to be careful about what we say, because if life is an echo and comes back to us, some of us, it might hurt us to hear what we said. I used a quote a while back, but I love the thought that be sure you taste your words before you spit them out. Okay, on a gentler note, kind words can be short and easy to speak, but their echoes are truly endless. Our friend, what are you sending out that is coming back that reflects you? The real you, the heart of you. I think it's interesting that so many people think they can say whatever they want because it's their right or they have freedom of speech. And they think they're entitled to their opinion. And although that's true, you are. I'm just curious. Do you know that the world doesn't work that way anymore? You will when cancel culture comes for you or something you say on social media will echo back and somebody will echo back at you with words that are 5 times harder. I see this in politics and business and frankly in the church from our leaders and those who would like to be. For some reason, so many people don't think that what they say will be an echo back that will be repeated and remembered, and then posted on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or any other social media sites. Why anyone would think that is frankly beyond me when we have so many ways to capture the spoken word and replay it until you are ground into dust. Our friends, we have a responsibility to guard what we send out because it will come back on us. And it reflects how others see us. And just like looking in a mirror, we should want our reflection to show our true heart, our true meaning, our true desire, or better stated, our truth, and not what others interpret our truth to be. See, if life is an echo, let's think about what we sow in comparison to what we reap. I know that if you sow discord, you'll reap heartache. If you sow kindness, I hope you will reap joy. Think about how this works in life. So come on. You and I know good-hearted people who have sown kindness in word and deed. And now at the end of their days, they are sought out and heralded for their wisdom and kindness. Now, compare that to those who finagled the company books only to benefit themselves and maybe a few of their cronies before the organization fell. No one's really reaching out to them unless it's through their lawyer. Okay, not to state the obvious, but do not think for 1 minute that you can sow lies or hate or stealing or revenge without it coming back on you or maybe even your family. And let me remind you that if you found yourself in this predicament, my friend, make it right while you can. Because there will come a time when you can't, and the world will be told about your sowing and reaping. I think the same is with the idea of you give what you get. What do you give to others? Are you generous with your time and talent or money? Listen, I know there's only so many hours in a day, so giving away too much of your day, it really won't serve you well in any area. But what can you give? That's the question, friend. What can you give? Are you willing or are you holding back? Because, hey, listen, sometimes we just don't want to. I fully understand that we can only give so much before the well runs dry. But hear me. I think so many listening, I think you've got a responsibility to refresh yourself so you can give back what you can. Because I truly believe others who are watching you probably need what you can provide. It's always nice when men and women who are retired give back because they've got the time and usually the talent. But I dare say to a person, these folks who gave of themselves while they sat in executive chairs in business, giving back now is just an extension of who they are or who they were. So the fact is, they learned it then. And now they show it while they have the extra time. If you don't learn to give now, it will not be a part of your internal compass later. And I just think you'll struggle to find your way to receive the blessings of true gratitude. I like the next phrase of what you see in others exists in you. Now, for some listening today, that is a scary thought. Have you ever found yourself really not liking someone, and yet you can't put your finger on why until someone says, oh, well, they're just like you. Ouch! And then it hits you that you and that person have the same quirky qualities. Now, granted, yours aren't as bad, I know, but, what a rude awakening. See, if what you see in others exists in you, some of you, that should give you pause for reflection. Because if you don't like what you see, only you can make a change for the better. All right, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on do not judge, because frankly, we all do it, even though we say we don't. And we know deep in our heart that we probably shouldn't, but it feels so good. Listen, I believe that if we saw everyone as our grandmother, grandfather, mother, father, sister, brother, cousin, uncle, aunt, friend, our world would be a very different place. In fact, if that were true, I kind of think we can put the human back into humanity. Wow, that would be good for all of us. And finally, the last line, radiate and give love, and love comes back to you. Now, this is one we all know is true, but it's rather hard to do since, life gets in the way. You get to make the decision of if you're going to give yourself to others. You make the decision if you're going to empty yourself for others, who you claim to love and care for and respect and admire. Listen, I hope so. I hope you take the time, while you still can, to give what you can to others. Listen, no matter what you think about yourself, let me remind you that you, my friend, you are needed in the world, whether you think so or not. Maybe the world at large needs your time, your talent, or energy. Or maybe in your small corner of the world, they need your time, talent, and energy. Because so many listening today, one time years ago, you promised to give your love, your time, your energy, your goodness to others. Whether it was on your wedding day, or the day your child was born, or the day you finally realized your parents now need you, and you need to grow up and give back. Maybe it was the day you finally decided to do what you were born to do. Listen, I could spend the rest of the afternoon going through a list of things that you and I promised to do with all of our heart and mind and soul and body, and yet here we are just talking about it on a radio show or a podcast. There was a time in our life when you and I promised to give love without holding back, without bargaining, without irritation, but to give generously with kindness, goodness, with a true and pure heart. Oh, friend, we promised to radiate and give love. I also think I could change the word love to time. Why? Because time is the most precious resource we have. We all know it's true. It's rare that our families actually need something most of us don't have or have already provided. Our kids really don't need much more stuff, and maybe our spouse and our parents probably don't lack for stuff. But I can pretty much guarantee what everyone would like, more than anything in the world, it would be your time. See, time is love. And in its purest form, friend, if you give it, I believe it'll come back to you. Love in its purest form comes back to you, and that is an echo I think we would all love to hear. Life is an echo. All comes back. The good, the bad, the faults, and the true. So friend, give the world the best you have, and the best will come back to you. I'm Deb Sofield. You're listening to Encouragement for Your Life. Stay tuned. I'll be right back after the break. Hi, I'm Deb Sofield. If you or someone you know is interviewing for law school, medical school, dental school, veterinary school, scholarships, college, or a job, call me. You need to be prepared for the interview. Most interviews have a standard set of questions that you must know the answer to. You need a coach, and I can help. I have years of experience coaching for all types of interviews. I'd like to be on your team. I'd like to be your coach. Contact me through my website, debsofield.com. Hey everybody, welcome back. You're listening to Encouragement for Your Life. I'm Deb Sofield. So I was online and I was looking for information just to make our show relevant to today, and I came across an article from Forbes magazine, and the author is Kathy Caprano, And she did a shout out question to her readers. And the headline is The Top 8 Things People Desperately Desire but Can't Seem to Attain. And I thought it fit right in with our message today because what you give, you get. And friends, so many times the more you give, shocking but true, it comes back. Now, not all the time, we know that. But I think within reason, some of us have extremely high expectations. But for the rest of us, I think the opportunity to be a part and to give and to become part of a community is really waiting for us to step up and into it. So here's what she says. If you could say in one word what you want more of in life, what would that be? So Kathy goes on to say, of all the things people indicated they want more of, the following were the 8 mentioned most frequently. Here's her take on what's missing in life and work today, and why we can't get enough of these elusive ingredients and experiences. And she goes on to say in this Forbes article, the quotes below are from actual respondents about what they perceive to be the biggest challenge in the way of what they are longing for. So number 1, not surprising, happiness. Biggest challenge, not knowing what I want to do. The number 1 mentioned missing element for so many people in life is happiness. And it has become very hard to achieve and for some even harder to maintain. She goes on to say, in my work, I've seen happiness continually escapes because first, most people don't understand exactly what would make them happy. They just don't know themselves very well at all. And second, they search outside of themselves for happiness in a job, a spouse, a family, a title, a paycheck, a fancy house. As a result, happiness is constantly just out of their control and a perpetual moving target that never stands still long enough for them to grasp. The author says, I'm not saying that these things don't bring happiness. Of course they can. But the key point that if everything you're searching for remains outside of you, my friend, you'll always be chasing and scrambling. Number 2, money. Biggest challenge, not having enough money or time to accomplish the things I want to do. The author says, I've worked with millionaires as well as people who earn mid-6 figures and far, far less. Isn't it fascinating that no matter how much we earn, we somehow feel we never have enough? She says, I know people with literally over $1 million in their retirement account, yet they live in such a constant fear state around money that they never have a moment's peace and can't enjoy spending for anything, even for family vacations that are supposed to be joyful. The question is, how much money do you really need to bring about life experiences that will truly fulfill you? And if you want more money, do you understand the key principles and behaviors required to generate it? Finally, do you understand your own money story and how you habitually operate with money? Her third point, freedom. Biggest challenge. Having the freedom to find my, quote, true purpose or being lit up by the day-to-day at work. Freedom. We all want it, yet so many people I meet are resistant to doing what's required to get it. We want to, quote, feel free. Free, yet scared to muster the courage to do what's necessary to become free. What is necessary to experience freedom? I've seen that it requires making yourself right, following your own authentic values and beliefs, and building strong boundaries to protect yourself from what others will tell you is right for you or try to force on you. And it takes forging your own path in life and work, despite the challenges and the naysayers. It requires boldness and the courage to make yourself your own highest authority on life and work. And friends, that's just not an easy thing to do today. Sadly, what most of us aren't taught or trained on how to stand up powerfully for what we want and believe in, and to go after it with an undying passion and commitment. The next one she lists is peace. Biggest challenge? Lack of clarity about who I am and my purpose. Oh, friend, we long for peace desperately. Peace from noise, chatter, pressure, responsibilities. We also want peace from the painful thumping inside of our own heads, the conflicts and strain we inflict on ourselves every day, every minute to be better, stronger, smarter, prettier, thinner, better parents, or you can just fill in the blank. See, peace doesn't come from being better at anything or even figuring anything out. Attaining peace is a practice that we need to cultivate and commit to, regardless of what's going on around you. Peace in today's time will never just fall in our laps. It's too chaotic of a world. We have to carve out space within ourselves and our lives to bring forward the experience of peace, and then do the work to expand peace as a feeling and experience that we'll commit to daily, regardless of what's around us. Friend, you don't have to know your, quote, purpose to be at peace. You just have to commit to being at peace and building daily practices that will support you in that commitment. The next one is joy. How to find the right role or position for me now that will bring joy in my work. The author says, I have observed how the process of stepping up into our highest potential and honoring our best visions for contributing to the world in a meaningful way does indeed pave the way for more joy. I believe and have lived that we simply can't feel joy in our life if the work we do pains us. We're not able to effectively separate who we are from what we do. And why would we want to? So when you're stuck in work you dislike greatly, with people you don't respect, supporting outcomes you feel are wrong to you, then your life as a whole can't help but be joyless. Even if your personal and family life bring you happiness, our friend, joy comes from the process of becoming more of who you already are. Discover that and honor it, and you'll be on your way to a more joyful and rich life. Number 6 is balance. The biggest challenge. Balancing my need and desire for flexibility while making enough money and having the benefits that I want. The author says, I've researched work-life balance extensively and believe that it's doable only under one condition, that you understand clearly what your top life priorities are, and you defend and honor those priorities fiercely every minute of every day. It takes understanding of your non-negotiables, those things you won't compromise on and you won't say yes to if you don't believe it. And then living from that knowledge and making the right decisions that align with your top life priorities. If you can't do that, then you can't create a sustainable balance. Her next point is fulfillment. The biggest challenge, utilizing my potential in the best possible way for myself and for others. Fulfillment can be defined as this: satisfaction or happiness as a result of fully developing one's ability or character. We simply can't experience fulfillment if we're not living up to what we know is our highest and best potential. Have you ever settled for something much less than you know you want or deserve? It hurts a lot. But to live up to your highest potential, I think we've got to leave our comfort zones behind, and perhaps even leave behind the definition we've crafted of who we think we are, even what we think our, quote, authentic self is. And the stories we tell ourselves about what we're capable of so that we can become the person we dream to be. We may also need to leave some people and relationships behind, the ones that don't support us to soar higher and grow because it threatens them. Fulfillment is possible when you are filling up your cup, honoring your own potential, not forsaking yourself by putting everyone else in front of you. Fulfillment comes when you take bold actions that say yes to the future vision of you, even well before the idea has hatched or come into being. And then number 8, confidence. The biggest challenge, feeling like I have something to offer now, rather than feeling constantly as if I'm not ready and need more training. The author says, I've seen in working with thousands of professionals and in my former therapy and corporate work that we humans only see what's at the tip of our nose. When we're in situations that are hurtful, demeaning, challenging, and worse, we lose confidence. We get rocked and we stay rocked. We forget who we are, what we're capable of, and see only the boss in front of us who's yelling, or the colleague or family member who is tearing us down. Sadly, millions of us around the world have been raised and culturally and societally trained in ways that degrade our sense of self-confidence. We're often taught that it's not advisable to think for ourselves, and we shouldn't follow our own path that conflicts with the values of our tribe. In short, we're taught not to believe that we can govern our own lives well if we don't listen to our, quote, authority figures, family members, teachers, and others around us. Parental and society training that keeps us stuck living someone else's life is extremely damaging and severely limits our potential and our happiness. Our friend, confidence comes from acknowledging your own magnificence, not shying away from it. The reality is, listen, it's a tough world out there with many challenges that many folks are simply not prepared to face. But throughout those challenges, there are countless ways we can remain true to ourselves, leverage our gifts, and foster our self-esteem and passion for life and work. And we can continually build our confidence, happiness, and fulfillment despite these challenges. For that, we need an abundance of self-love and also support from others who don't want to tell us what to do, but instead want to help us follow our own internal value system and belief. And we need to believe in ourselves without fail, despite the evidence around us that says we're not ready to soar in creating what we long to do. I love the article found in Forbes, and I think it fits with my message today. Our friend, life is an echo. All comes back, the good, the bad, the false, and the true. So give the world the best you have, and the best will come back to you. I'm Deb Sofield. You've been listening to Encouragement for Your Life. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope you'll join me next week, same time, same place. Have a good one, everybody.